Hello everyone, this is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot, and we are upon another monthly Astros reading video for all 12 signs. Thank you so much for joining me, and I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy your reading. Definitely check out your rising sign, your moon sign, your sun sign. Check out your relative signs. I love when people do that because they're getting the most from these readings. So thank you for that. I'm going to go back to using the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. I have been using the Bohemian Gothic Tarot, and prior to that, the Numinous Tarot, but I want to get back to Mildred Payne for a little bit. So that's what we're doing. I will be using less decks this time around. I mean, not really, but really. So I want to curtail or bring in the monthly readings because they do take quite a bit to put out and to edit. And if they're massive times 12, then it can become too much to edit. So I also will be using the White Rabbit Oracle in conjunction with the Oracle of Nightmares. So that's why I kind of said, well, I'm using less decks, but not really, because, well, that's two decks in one. And then closing with the Halloween Oracle. We'll go ahead and do a general reading this month. I think next month I may touch upon love specifically. And then the following month, you know, maybe circle back to a life general reading as we move from December into the new year. So stay tuned for that. Also stay tuned for different ways and different platforms that I will be offering general readings to the masses. I have actually many platforms that I feel are underutilized, such as my website, my Facebook. So definitely keep your eyes and ears open for more of what's coming in the future for Abundant Life Tarot, because it's not going to just be here on YouTube that I'll be playing at. It will be in other arenas as well. All right, you guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. Much love, many blessings to you this lovely November. Thank you, and I will see you all on the other side. Hello, Cancers. We are doing your November Life, Love, and Abundance Oracle reading, your monthly reading, with the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle as the main attraction. We're going to first open up, though, with the White Rabbit Oracle and the Oracle of Nightmares combined. Spirit, we are looking for the overarching energies for the month of November for Cancers. What's happening for Cancers? Okay. So the first card that jumped was Wisdom, Legacy, and Intuition. Then we're going to lay out the remaining cards and do the reading in its entirety. First question is, what will Cancers be confronting in the month of November? What will Cancers be confronting? What will Cancers be confronting? Okay. Any other messages? What tools will Cancers be utilizing in the month of November? What tools wow. Okay. It's going to be a big reading for you. All right. And then finally, what is the outcome cards showing up for Cancers for the month of November? What will you be leaving behind in November and taking forward with you into December and beyond? All right. You have quite an interesting reading. I'm going to try and stay on point with all these lovely messages. And then finally, what's a closing message for Cancers between Spirit and you? Oh, 2 messages. Oh, I have to detach my Hello, Leos. This is Kim doing your November Life, Love, and Abundance reading, Oracle reading, because we're going back to the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. But we're going to first start out with a combination of the Oracle of Nightmares and the White Rabbit Oracle by Ariana Siegel. So let's get started. All right, my Leos. We are looking at the overall overarching energies for November. What's happening, what's going on energetically for our Leo friends. Discernment. Okay, thank you. All right. Oh, Leo. Okay. So I'm going to lay out the cards and move my crystals. I'm going to lay out the cards first and then do the reading. This time is what I'm being called to do. Okay, so now we are looking at what will Leos be confronting in the month of November. What's happening at the start and the middle and end of November in life, love, and abundance for Leo. Okay. What tools will Leos be utilizing? What tools can they utilize in the month of November in life, love, and abundance? Thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you, Spirit. Nice. All right. I like your tools this month, Leo. You got some cool tools. All right. And then finally, what are the outcome cards of the month of November for Leos? What are the takeaways? What are you leaving behind in November, and what are you taking forward into December and beyond? Okay, stop. Lighthouse. I like Lighthouse. Ooh, some abundance, chalice. Some love and abundance and ooh, gifts. Nice. All right, Leos. It's been very nice. And then finally, a closing message from Spirit to you, Leos, to tie up this reading. Lady de los... Oh, you know I can't speak Spanish. Lady de los Muertos. Acceptance and equality. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. You go, Leo. All right, you guys. Sorry. I'm getting a little loopy. I'm tired. It's like not like 9 here right now. I've been up since, I don't know, 5 a.m. Okie dokie. All right, so we have discernment, harmony, and fairylands as the overall energies that you will experience in November, my lovely Leos. Discernment. You're able to see things a little more clearly now for what they are, who they are, and you're getting a little more clear about what it is you want, who it is you want to be around, and even like work situations, you're able to discern, you know, when it's time to walk away from something and when it's time to just be quiet about things or speak up about things. So discernment is happening. And I like that it's sitting next to the harmony card, which tells me that, and the fairylands. So you are now saying, hey, I want to be happy in November and beyond. I want to feel fulfilled and like balanced and in harmony. I want to have fun. I want to explore and grow and expand and be around new people and have fun and whatnot. I want to have all of that. I'm discerning and letting go of things and people who are no longer serving my highest good. And that's a beautiful energy to be in the month of November. It's something very much to be in gratitude for. Acceptance and equality, we'll look more into that, but I just get a sense of maybe you come to a point where you are accepting yourself as a whole and demanding equality in some areas, while others, this is more about an internal struggle where you're finally kind of balancing those negative thoughts finally with some more soothing thoughts about yourself, and you're having more acceptance of who you are as a person, whether it's your physical, who you are emotionally or mentally. There's some acceptance there. There's some acceptance and equality. Maybe that's happening in your workplace, happening, in your school life, happening, in a societal situation. That could be coming up for you. Like finally you're feeling like in your society, where you are, in your community, there's some acceptance and equality happening. Maybe you are fighting for the disenfranchised, or maybe you feel disenfranchised, but now finally this card confirms that that's not necessarily the case, that you now have you now tapped into this energy, and this is what you have. We'll read from the guidebook at the conclusion of the reading. I could go all day on these cards, by the way. That's how many intuitive hits these cards give me. Love that. All right, so let's get into the Mildred Payne. What's happening for my Leos? Well, we've got no surprise coming from a beautiful fire sign that you are. Fire, your passions, your creativity is popping off in November. You are fired up. You are ready to just be a creative little genius in your life. But with that comes at times some consuming emotions. At times you feel like you're on the brink. You don't know if you're coming or going. You feel like there's utter destruction happening. This is sitting next to the poison card. Are there toxic thoughts and things that you're seeing maybe on the internet that's not serving you so well? Maybe some political stuff. Maybe it's family stuff. Maybe it's friendship stuff or ex-lover stuff. By the way, if you're bothered by ex-lovers and it feels a little toxic to you, it's time to unfollow them. Okay? That's what I feel. I mean, this card is about accepting something that is harmful. It's its definition. It's about being around toxic people that aren't really good for us. It's about self-destruction. So some of us may this may speak to those who are in a very high-vibing, creative, scenario for themselves. There will be many Leos experiencing that throughout the entire month of November. But there will be some people in the minority group of Leos. Get down, Bishop. Thank you. That will be having all-consuming emotions and that's because you're being around toxic people that aren't really good for you. Maybe ex-lovers that need to finally just go away, or toxic people at work. You're going to have to learn how to bring some harmony and bring some discernment into that situation. These cards tell me, though, that you will, but it will be something to contend with. You'll be primarily dealing with this at the beginning and the middle part of November. Towards the end of the month of November, things seem to stabilize. And in fact, turn out beautifully for you, Leos. But in the beginning, there's some tumultuous stuff going on. I mean, some of my Leos I know are very passionate and political, in the political front. So there could be some passions and fires going that are ignited, and you're going to see some toxic things coming up, out picturing. But you just have to kind of roll with it and just kind of let it roll off your back. Also, the Saturn card is about adversity and hardships. It's also about male sexuality and dominance. And let's think about this for a moment. So you've got you've got tumultuous emotions, toxic kind of poisonous situations going on, and maybe a male dominant energy. Could be a woman with a male dominant energy, but a male dominant energy that's kind of like bogarting its way and not being really nice about it. And so you, again, Leos, I'm confident you will bring harmony. You will realize towards the middle part of November, like who you truly are and what your worth is. And whatever the situation that's toxic in your life, you will release it and let it go. But there will be a moment where you kind of go along with this situation. You're dealing with authority figures who have a chip on their shoulder. You're going to have to learn how to, despite dealing with that, you're going to have to bring harmony into your situation. Okay? So don't be disheartened by these cards. Be empowered by these cards, is what I say. That is what I say about that. I mean, something like there's a sense of control trying to be a tug and pull in a relationship, in a dynamic in your life. And you just have to see what that's about, explore that. And then work through it and have some fun towards the end of the month. And then we have 28 for house. Again, this is about having a strong sense of personal identity about yourself. You speaking up and standing up to the authority figure, but not, in a stable, strong way, not in a way that's not like it's a solid foundation. You don't have anything to worry about standing up for yourself in this instance. But just be mindful that, again, you need to think about the big picture, about overall harmony and having a peaceful, wonder-filled kind of life. And if you're constantly in a situation where it's a tug-of-war control thing, maybe you need to exit. The house is also, it's about creating a safe space for your family. It is about stability. You build that stability. So at first things are a little tumultuous, but as a result, you're creative and inspired. But there's some things going on for you, Leos, in the beginning and mid part of the month. But at the end, things stabilize and get better. Some of you guys are actually literally moving homes or considering moving homes. So this card is confirmation of that. While others have just, really stabilized, and it feels good to be in a stable, solid place. Let's look at your tools. So tools, we have foot. Foot is about having that, so it's in the tools position. It's about saying, it's go off on the good foot. You're on solid ground. You're, feet planted. Just try to ground yourself. Try to root yourself, grounding yourself, and maybe spending some time with meditation with stones, walking in nature, just doing things of the earth, of the pentacles nature, I like to call it in the tarot, where you're kind of working on your home, cooking, singing, dancing. I drum sometimes. I dance. I stomp my feet. Again, this is a tool for you this month when you're starting to feel a little bit not so sure about how, what's going on. This is how you ground yourself. Set goals for yourself. You have the arrow card. This is about aiming and shooting at your target and achieving your goals. So you need to get clear about where it is you're trying to go. What's your 5-year plan? What's your 3-year, 1-year plan? Where do you see yourself going? Have you thought about that? Start branching out on your own, Leos. Some of you are being called by that entrepreneurial spirit. You need to take heed and listen to it. It's a worthwhile journey to go on. Okay, branch out. Some of you, this card could mean in the relationship sector that if the relationship isn't working out, time for you to branch out and let that relationship go. Well, this, this is the 25 card. It also could confirm, and is sitting right underneath the Saturn card of authority, of the male dominance thing. And this is saying it represents dealing with a power or abuse of power. And again, I just get a sense of, you can respectfully stand up for yourself and not look like a crazy person, but just respectfully stand up for yourself so that others don't take you for granted. And again, like I said, I just get a strong sense about branching out on your own, getting out there, putting yourself out there. It would be a good thing for you. This is a tool for November for you. Finally, we have a ladder card. And this, in the tools position, is about, again, seeing where you're trying to go and then making sure that you're climbing up the ladder. Where are you on the ladder? There's nothing wrong with having to step down and go backwards on the ladder, but it's time to do some assessment, seeing where you're at and seeing how you can climb higher, and seeing why, if you can't climb higher, what's preventing that, and having an honest look at that situation so you can then make some real empowered decisions about moving forward. Sometimes that's why we stay in dead-end jobs for a long time, because we get complacent. We don't think about our goals really. We kind of let them fall by the wayside. We forget about it. We get stagnant. We either go a few steps down, or we just stay where we're at. We're not ascending. Well, no, it's time to take a look at that and assess that. And then the outcome card for 60, we have the stunt card. So this is about something ending prematurely. Maybe emotions flare up. You decide to quit abruptly at a company you've been working for. You decide to break up a relationship. Someone decides to break up with you suddenly. Someone decides to fire you. Maybe you lose a contract or, something like that. But it's not the end of the world, really. It really is a blessing in disguise with the stuff. There is some resistance, though. You have to look at why you're having some resistance in your life, too. Again, there's some assessing that needs to happen here. This also may indicate that you need to extricate yourself from a situation. Maybe you're mired up in a he said, she said situation, or a gossipy situation, and it's lots of things are kind of running over and it's kind of toxic. Or perhaps you have been really embroiled in the political front and it's now time to take a step back. Or maybe at work you've been embroiled in a fight with your boss. It's time to extricate yourself from that. Or maybe there's been a conflict at work that you kind of was roped in. Now it's time to pull yourself out of that. Let it go. Not worth it. You've got the lighthouse shining a light on the situation, right? With the lighthouse. I love the lighthouse. It's saying that you're going to have the strength to weather the storm in the beginning and middle part of November. You're going to be okay. There's going to be something or someone that's going to come along to help you navigate through these troubled times. And there's going to be a lot of spiritual growth as a result of what you're going to be going through at the beginning and mid part of November. So take heart of that. Don't fret about this. This is just a little boop, a little speed bump in the road. You will move on. You will have harmony. You're going to have fun. You're going to be able to if you celebrate Thanksgiving, you're going to have a great Thanksgiving. Don't you worry, as I see that in the chalice and the ribbon cards sitting next to each other. So ever so lovely. I mean, you got to love the ribbon card. Let's talk about the ribbon card first. It's talking about happy times, festivities, you know, a formal occasion. It's coming up a lot for a lot of people, probably because a lot of people are going to be watching this, probably are in a festive mood for November. Okay, so that's fun. We like the ribbon card. It's a symbol of hope. It symbolizes hope for us. And yeah, I think it's quite awesome that you have that coming up in your reading. And then we have 40, chalice, about abundance, celebration. So again, there's some abundance happening. Perhaps because you do say, you know what? I'm going to show these people, or I'm going to show myself that I can do X, Y, and Z. And you do it. And then you get a raise out of it. You get a new deal out of it. You get a chance to expand your horizons. Things are going to look up. And that's what are the energies, the beautiful energies that are going to be going forth into December and beyond for you. For some of you, it represents, for some men, meeting a very beautiful woman and having the start of a new relationship, having fun in fairylands and harmony. And women, if you're into men or women, vice also men, if you're into men, that's fine too. But love could be, this could be also symbolizing of new love coming about. And so, and also deep connections deepening. You know, the married folk, the folks who've been in a relationship for a long time, folks who are in really strong, committed friendships. There's a nice connection going on. So yeah, you're going to have the strength to weather all of this in the beginning and the stability. But it's just time to assess where you are and where you're trying to go. And then everything will work out. Let's wrap up. I was trying to find the pages. I'll just pull out the book. I wanted to read an excerpt from the guidebook for this lovely card. Lady de los Muertos, Acceptance and Equality. All right. I'm just going to read the last paragraph here. It says, acknowledging that death is a natural process that will enter everyone's life at some time, and that perhaps until then we can choose to be life-affirming, takes away much of the fear. Take a light approach to a situation initially, and it may work out better. If you are holding on to something that does not serve you any longer, in particular material things, simplify and let it go. I love that. Discernment, assessment, looking at where you're at, setting some new goals. Your old goals may no longer be serving you. And in turn, you will reach a place of harmony and fairyland activities. But these are energies that are already going to be happening. It's just how you work with it. It's all good in the end. It's all free will too, my friends. All right, dears. Well, thank you all so much for watching. Have a very blessed and abundant November. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye. Hello, Virgos. This is your monthly November Life, Love, and Abundance Oracle reading. And we are going to first look at the overall overarching energies. Well, we're going to first shuffle the cards to get that. This month, we're going to lay out all the cards first on the table and then do the reading. So let's get started. All right, Spirit, we are looking for Virgo in November at the overarching overall energies that Virgos will be working with and working through for November. Life, love, and abundance. What's going on for Virgos? Okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay. So, we've got explore, imagine, Let's explore again. Illuminate and indecision. So we'll look at how all those cards are playing together in a moment. Okay, now let's look at the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. Spirit, we're asking about Virgos for the month of November. What will they be confronting in the month of November in life, love, and abundance? Oh. She's so, let's see. Thank you, Spirit. And the messages coming through. Okay, Spirit, for Virgos for the month of November. What's coming through? What's happening in the month of November? Okay. Okay. The messages for what's happening in November. Okay, lots of transformation for many of the signs this month. Yay. All right, and what tools will Virgos be utilizing in the month of November? What tools can they use? Will they be using throughout the month of November? More transformation. All right. Oh, just jumping. Just jumping. Oh, wow. And finally, what's the outcome? Wow. What's happening in November in life, love, and abundance for Virgos, whether they're single or in relationships, whatever the case may be? What will they be leaving behind in November and taking forward into December? Oh no, I had a spill. It's because I'm too tired. That's why. Should not shuffle while tired. You will have a spill. Okay. What's happening? What's the outcome cards really in November for Virgos? Any more messages? 3. Oh. Any more messages? Yes, thank you. Okay, Virgos. And then finally, a closing message from the Halloween Oracle, a message from Spirit to you about this reading, tying up everything, or answering something to some specific yous out there. Let's see what Spirit has to say for November for Virgos. Scrying, intuition, which is interesting. Quite interesting, I'll say. All right, so let's get started. So in the month of November, the overall overarching energies that you'll be working with, Virgos, is exploring, new things in your life, exploring surroundings in your area where you live, exploring new opportunities at your workplace, just in a great sense of exploration and expansion in your life. And that's a very beautiful and positive thing. So many of you are in various stages of exploring something new in life, love, and abundance, especially for those exploring in life, purpose, and love. I really get a strong sense that if you're exploring, you are going to definitely find what it is that you're trying to go explore and conquer. Imagination is for some of you a great thing, a blessed thing, but some of you it's kind of getting the best of you. It's kind of taking your imagination. They say, what do they say? Your imagination is getting the better of you or getting the best of you. You have to be mindful of that. But this is also a card that's saying that you will be tapping more into your imagination, which is allowing you to explore, but also to illuminate, to start to get some spiritual awakenings that are happening inside of you and around you. You're bearing witness to it. You are on a spiritual journey, and it's ebbing and flowing, and now you're at this point where things are really starting to come to light and you understand what's going on and things are illuminated for you, which is helpful because during this time of transition and transformation, you have a lot of indecision happening about you. Like, you're going to have difficult times making choices, but in the end, you'll anchor yourself, you'll ground yourself. You will remember the spiritual being that you are and the powerful being that you are, and you'll overcome that. But yeah, you will be afflicted in the month of November with some indecision around minor decisions you have to make to kind of big decisions that you have to make. You just feel like you can't make a decision because you don't have all the pieces yet, but you may not get all the pieces and you may not need all the pieces to make a decision. I'm sorry, guys. I realize I've been hitting this. Okay. That should be better. So we have scrying, and I'm going to read from an excerpt from the book towards the end of the reading here. But scrying, intuition, this month you'll really be tapping into your intuition, Virgos. Things are going to be happening. Like, you just need to rely on your intuition, rely on all that you've built upon to get you to this point in November, and know that all is well, all is good, and you are, once you get past this moment of indecision, everything's going to flow beautifully, and it's all because you're going to listen to your intuition this month. Okay, so let's get to the Mildred Payne. You know how I love me some Mildred Payne. So in the month of November, we have the boy card. The boy card says that this is a playful time for many of you, a curious time, a time, again, of exploration around you, of untamed enthusiasm. It feels like there's so much to celebrate. Maybe new additions to the family. Maybe it's a boy that's coming to the family. Maybe this is for some of you who are single. A new mate is coming who represents the boy, or a male energy that's coming to your life in the month of November. So be on the lookout for that. But I really get a sense that this is like tying into these cards here, this sense of wonderment, the sense of playfulness and curiosity. That's going to be you in the month of November, throughout the month of November, not just the beginning, middle, or end. It's going to be throughout, and it's just a beautiful presence that's in your life right now. But again, there's an affliction happening. It's the indecision. And, the indecision could also be found maybe in the snake, with the snake card. It's about fear. Indecision comes from fearing that you're going to make a wrong decision, that you're not going to make the right decision, that it's that you may make a misstep and that things will fall apart. And these fears may hold you back at times. There's a sense that you are holding yourself back with your indecision by not moving forward at all. And sometimes you just have to risk being wrong in order to have an opportunity, a beautiful opportunity to be right. For some of you, this snake card can represent some sexual fantasies either being finally fulfilled. For some of you Virgos, maybe there was a drought and now it's being, your drought is being quenched. For you. Temptations, the snake is about some temptations coming about. But I really get a sense that this is more about fear. And that fear is tied to that indecision, or they're like one and the same, if you will. And then we have 10 for the eye card. This card is about bearing witness, like I said earlier, things being illuminated, things becoming clear to you, where you're able to finally see things. Now and when I say see, yes, visually see, but also knowingly see, spiritually see, being vigilant, being honest, making people honest, keeping people honest. That's what's happening in the month of November for many of you. You get an opportunity to keep people honest in the month of November. Maybe it's co-workers, maybe it's your lover, maybe it's relatives, maybe it's just, the greater public at large, So just be mindful of that. That's what's happening. The energies I'm getting a sense for Virgos who are watching this video. Again, with the bell, this is about tolling in some spirituality to kind of ring in some change for you. To ring in some change. This is an awakening card. And I love when I see this card because it's sitting next to the moth card and it's between the bearing witness card and the moth card, I like to say. And the bell card is about a beginning or an end of some important event. And so you this month will be bearing witness to something coming to an end and having to deal with that and having to transform and transcend that. What is coming to an end and what is now being birthed, what is now growing and maturing and moving on. And so you are in a state of transition. The people around you are in a state of transition. And so, again, you may feel like you are leading others and that, there's some indecision that comes about, that you worry that you may make a misstep, but trust and believe. There's just no missteps. There's just you moving in the direction that you're trying to go and just trying to be in a place of allowing, so that way you don't have to do a lot of the heavy lifting. That's what spirit in the universe is there for. It's there for the heavy lifting. So 57 is the frog card. And this card also, like the moth card, and this, I feel like I kind of glossed over the moth before we move on to the frog, because it too is about a transformation card. But this one's in the tools position. This moth card is in the what's happening. So the what's happening is transformation. Being hopelessly attracted to something. Also dealing with a clingy person, someone who can't let go. That's a possibility for some Virgos. Wow, this is saying, hey, there's a lot of transformation going on, so hold tight. Just hold tight. It may sometimes feel a little challenging, but you're doing a lot of work. There's a lot of work that has to go into transformation. And speaking of work, we look at the tools position with the 57 card. And this is about transformation as well. But in the tools position, it's saying, hey, manage your disappointments. Something unpleasant may come about as a part of this transformation. And how you transcend the disappointment is you need to learn to accept the good that came from that which wasn't so good, right? You know, it's like this toad or frog here. And you're like, oh, I was hoping for something else, but here I have this frog. Well, what's the blessing in having that frog? And that is what you're invited to do this month as one method or tool for you. These are going to be some unconventional tools that you're going to be dealing with. Here, under the snake card, we have Pop It. And Pop It is about making sure that you don't allow your fears to mind control you, or to, you know, excuse my French, to mind fuck you, and to, you know, to manipulate you to thinking that you aren't capable of doing a job, or you aren't capable of making a decision. It's important for you to be mindful of your thoughts, have more control over the thought patterns that are happening, and take ownership and responsibility for them, so that when you feel fears come bubbling up, you deal with them and you address them. You don't mask them. You don't try to disguise them. You don't try to, you know, to poo-poo them. You just say, hey, this is a fear. Thank you, ego. Thank you, fear, for what you're trying to inform me of. I don't need that information. I'm suppressing it now. I'm moving on from it. But this is how you honor it, move on, honor yourself, honor your journey, and move on. We have time. So in the tools position, you know, it's, don't worry, don't get so caught up in worrying about time and how long things are taking to manifest or to develop. It's going to take time. You just know that it's getting done. It may not move as fast as you can see, but things underneath the surface are moving. So you just need to trust that everything is working out in divine timing. Okay? Also, maybe it's time to start setting more concrete deadlines to adhere to make sure you stay on target, to stay on track. So that's definitely a powerful tool for you. We have the 4 for girl. And this represents to keep carefree, try to be as carefree as you can be in the month of November, despite the stressors that you have, despite the indecision that has come up. Try to keep your thoughts as carefree as possible. When you find yourself starting to feel too serious, you know, think back to the month of October when you were having fun. Think forward to the holiday season. Just try to have some opportunity to have a little carefree time. And then 8 we have for blood. Again, this is in the tools position. What tools you will be utilizing? Just make sure that you are staying by, you know, keeping your vitality, exercising, getting rest, taking care of yourself, making sure your blood is flowing, making sure you're just taking care of everything you need to take care of, taking care of your family, taking care of your bloodlines, the people who matter to you, making sure you're just taking care of your body, your home, your family is important. It's an important tool to invest in for yourself to prevent from getting sick. And it's an important tool for your family so they can feel loved, supported, and nurtured by you. All right, let's move into the outcome cards, what you will be leaving behind in November and taking forward into December. We have the hand card. So with the hand card, giving and receiving of help. You're going to have friendly times with people. This is showing that you're going to be able to use your skills for a purpose, for a change. And that's going to feel really good. Giving and receiving help. Maybe your partner is finally pitching in and helping in the month of November for an event that you guys are putting on together. Perhaps this is signifying that you are getting a helping hand at work or a helping hand in your business. And so, or you yourself are getting or being able to finally do a lot of the heavy lifting yourself. And you feel accomplished for that. And then with the 58 card, we have the Saturn card. This card does portend of adversity, of hardships, of dealing with controlling figures, authority figures, male dominance, Virgos. So having to kind of confront that, maybe dealing with a boss that's like that, dealing with an overbearing partner who's like that. But I get a sense that you're going to overcome this adversity because you are going to remember that great sense of exploration, that great sense of imagination, and illuminating the spiritual tools inside of you from earlier in the month. And you're going to be able to say, you know what? This too shall pass, and we'll get past it. We're making real progress, and we're moving forward. And we're moving forward despite the adversity, despite the arguments that may pop up this month with my lover, despite my children getting on my nerves, despite them getting bad grades, or I forgot to pay a bill, or I got into a car accident. Those adversities, they are temporary. I realize that I'm able to move on. And you're able to move on because you have a keen sense now of your intuition telling you everything's going to be all right. And you finally letting go of that fear that's really holding you in with indecision. 53 is the iceberg card. And it's about obstacles. It's about hidden emotions. What's beneath the surface, right? Seeing, going deep this month. Doing a little bit of shadow work for some of you. Self-exploration is needed for many of you Virgos out there. And, the problems, the adversities that we're talking about may be bigger than you think. Like in terms of a relationship, there may be something deeper that you're not seeing that you need to be seeing. And that your intuition will help you to see. For those who are single, maybe the problems that are keeping you in singlehood, keeping you single, are deeper than you think. So maybe it's time to take a closer look at that. And then we have the moon card. I love this little moon. This little moon card is saying, hey, you're recognizing that you're going through a cycle of transformation, that this is a natural cycle. And so you're going with the flow, and you're going to be going with the flow into December, which is a good thing. There will be some dark emotions that you're dealing with. Again, I think it's tied to those fears that rears their head in the beginning and mid part of the month, that indecision. But you face them. You face them. It may be difficult at times, but you get over it because you make a decision to face it. And I know this to be true because we have the Ankh card for increased awareness. This card is about tapping into that secret, knowledgeable power that you have. That's that universal flow that we all can tap into. You, at the end of the month of November, really get that. Somehow you feel magical, powerful, an intuitive being, a light. Your indecisions, the things that you were wondering about at the beginning of the month have been illuminated, and answers are going to be given to you. So those things that you're worried about, that you don't have the answers for at the beginning of this month, that you're thinking about right now, trust and know that by the end of the month, these same questions you have will have answers from you. They're going to come from you. They're going to come from intuitive hits. They're going to come from your moments of exploration and using your imagination and your spiritual illumination. All of that. All right, let's take a quick look at the guidebook to wrap up the reading. For scrying, let's take a look here. Should you pull the scrying card, I suggest you try it for starters. It also indicates that you may wish to develop your intuition further and not rely solely on the logical part of your mind for all of the answers. True wisdom takes a balance of logic and imagination and intuition for true wisdom. And you know that to be true, I believe. I think that's why this card came up for you. And you should try scrying if you haven't. I'd scry. And I tell you what, I get so many answers so quickly. It's just mind-boggling. I love my little crystal ball. Love it. Oh. There you go. All right, my lovely Virgos, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a very beautiful and abundant November. And until the next time, much love.